Hey, this is Tony Taylor. Thank you for opening up this recording. I'm super excited to talk to you about these epiphanies that I've been having. Um, I believe that everybody has potential to achieve their goals. I believe that everybody has potential to serve, has the potential to be good, has the potential to be great. But for whatever reason, something stops us from being great. What is it that is stopping you from being great right now? There has to be something, some obstacle, some objection, even if it's the fact that you're on social media too much. Maybe you listen to this message, you're listening to it on the podcast, you're listening to it in the newsletter, you're listening to it. Maybe I sent it to you. You're one of our customers. You're in Speak University. But you're sitting there and you're thinking, like, what does it take for me to really go to the next level? And what is it that I can do to break loose? And if you're in a bad situation right now, these are the questions that you should be asking yourself. I'm not trying to boss you around or unload my objective on you. I am giving you the absolute facts. If you're in a bad situation and you're looking for a way out, you're examining the situation. You're asking yourself, what is it do I really need to turn this thing around? Not the thing that sounds good, not the thing that you've been telling everybody else is the answer, but I'm saying, like, really looking deep within yourself. What is it that you have dropped the ball on? What is it that you keep dropping the ball on? For me, I dropped the ball in moments that I knew, understood, conquered, failed, and then reconquered. But the moments that I focused on was the times when I failed. Why did I fall? Usually, if you're like me, you've fallen when you stop believing in yourself. Maybe you're sitting at work and you're listening to this and you're thinking, man, this job really sucks. Okay, look at it. Why does it suck? Maybe it's time for you to go. Maybe it's time for you to leave that cubicle and start a business inside of your house. You could be the next Walt Disney. Whatever it is that you do, you could be the next KFC, Colonel Sanders. You could be the next Ronald McDonald. Whatever you want to be. Of course, within reason. If you align everything together and you give yourself those outliers that Malcolm Gladwell talked to us about. You make those situations more ready and in lock and step with where you're trying to go. You create the best moment. You give yourself the best opportunity. I was watching Pepsi, Where's My Jet? Me and my family, we watched that. Pepsi, Where's My Jet? It's on Netflix. The guy, Pepsi had this commercial. Well, it was an epic commercial. I remember the commercial when I was a kid, and it was just so epic. It would go right in between Saved by the Bell, Hanging with Mr. Cooper, and In Living Color, right? The Pepsi, where they say you get this many tickets and you can get this prize. Maybe it's a Jack in the Box. Maybe it's Pepsi for life. But the big one at the end was having your own fighter jet. I think it was a Harrier jet. Your own jet. A military-grade piece of equipment. And what this guy did was he created these special moments. He gave himself an advantage. He went and got with a millionaire mentor that was going to fund his dream. Somebody that was more pissed off, or just as equally as pissed off as he was about not just this situation that they were not just the jet, but just, hey, let's do it. I got a chip on my shoulder. Maybe that's you. You got a chip on your shoulder. You got a reason why you're mad. You have a reason why you want to make a difference. You have a reason why you're serving, a reason that you've been called to serve, to do what it is that you are doing. If you're an entrepreneur, you've been called to entrepreneurship. If you're a leader in a company, you've been called to corporate leadership. If you're working in a warehouse, you've been called to do that work. You're working on a construction site, you've been called to build. What are you called to do? And what can you do to put yourself in the right circumstance? We started this by talking about doing an examination. Right? When you go to the doctor and you're fighting for your health, you're fighting on whether you're going to live or die. The first thing that the doctor does, no matter what you tell them, but especially based off of the information that you tell him that's concerning him or her or any of our friends, like they're going to the very cause and they're doing an examination. You'd rather that examination be done, right? Because if you don't do it, what's going to happen? I heard a phrase, I'd rather get a biopsy than an autopsy. A biopsy is you're cutting something away from your flesh, something away from your beliefs, and you're really looking at it. And sometimes this could be like to our detriment not to do it because we're the person that's creating the chaos in our life, the chaos in the lives of others. But you cut it away, and you rather do a biopsy and you examine the problem than be doing an autopsy where it's too late and it's dead and you're wallowing about it for the rest of your life. What is that? Al Bundy from Married and Children. You know Al Bundy. Al Bundy was a guy who went to Polk High. I think it was in Chicago. He was the quarterback and the captain of the football team. This guy was a middle-aged man. He drunk it. I think he drunk beer, sat on the couch, despised his wife, despised his kid, and he was just a freaking grump. He was a shoe salesman, and he was supposed to go to the NFL. There was a picture of Ed Bundy where I think he put himself on the Wheaties box, but he's doing the Heisman pose. He was supposed to be great. But somewhere along the lines, he did not cut. He did not do the biopsy to look at himself, to see what it is that he needed to do to go to the next level. And in Ed Bundy's next level, it was the NFL. What is your next level? Where are you trying to go right now in this very moment? Where are you trying to go? And then ask yourself, how are you going to get there? And then you're going to be on your way. And that is the joy. That is the thing that is missing from a lot of our lives when we chase money. We chase things that really don't serve us and definitely ain't serving nobody else. We become Al Bundy. And Al Bundy is a middle-aged man sitting on a couch, hating everybody, but still dreaming about that moment when he scored the game-winning touchdown 20 plus years ago. Do you want to be like Al Bundy? Or do you want to be like the people that he was hiding from when he went in the shoe store, when they would go in the shoe store and he didn't want to have to bend down? This is back when they would bend down and they would size you up for some shoes. I remember those days. I always said, I want to grow up and be one of those people that get their shoes shine. I always thought that was really cool, just to be dope and dapper. But whenever one of his colleagues come in, people that did the look at themselves so they can go to the next level, they were rich millionaires. They would come into the shoe store, and he would hide so he didn't have to get on his knees to put the shoes on him. And in that moment, he would start dreaming about the things that he did when he was hiding behind the coat rack. He would go into this dreamy sphere with the music, and he was scoring the game-winning touchdown. And then almost always he would wake up, he would get startled because that the person or their assistant, the person he's hiding from, tap him. Hey, sir, I need a shoe. I got this really fancy thing that I need to go to. This ball, this gala, this black and white gala, right? And he would just die on the inside because he knew that something happened that didn't happen to him. And then he would come home and he would sit on that couch and he would sulk about it so bad. He would wonder what happened. He still wore the same shirt. How many of you are living in the past? I know people say, man, I used to have so much money. Or, man, I was super popular in high school. Or I once had passion, but because, my circumstance, I lost my passion. I got a bad knee. And just so that I don't go down in that place with them, because that is the autopsy. That's looking at you, trying to figure out reasons why you died, because you keep digging and digging and digging. Oh, it's been so long, the sediment, the rocks, the rain above, 6 feet above, is disturbing the ground underneath because you're laying there dead. But your soul is still trying to find the bones and put them together and think about why you got there, instead of trying to figure out how to put the bones together so that you can stand up. How many of you right now are in a situation where you just need to put it all together so that you can stand up? Or whether you go towards putting it together with the intent to stand and having a mission, than just for you to lay there dead and bitch and moan about how you got there. So, with that being said, it's so good to have joy. I wish you joy. And I'm not saying that goal that you're trying to get to, that obstacle that you're trying to overcome. I wish you joy even when you're sprawled out on the rock. The obstacle has got you down. I want you to find joy in something. There was moments where I would find joy just in the fact that, yeah, it was gloomy, yeah, it was dark, yeah, the weather was bad, but just that I could just count on the rain. That would get me motivated, because I was going through different issues and going through different problems. I discovered and figured out why I was afraid of so much stuff, especially public speaking. I put it all together, broken, wobbly, missing pieces, but I stood up and I resurrected. I did the biopsy so that there wouldn't be no autopsy. Because when I'm gone, I'm gone, and I'm not trying to figure it out. I'll leave that up to everybody else if they care. But for the rest of my life, I will be doing a biopsy, because I'm going to always be undergoing obstacles in my life. I'm going to get it and look at it exactly the way that it is. That's the same thing that I did with the fears that I had growing up as a kid. I talked to my mom the other day, and she told me I just worry about everything obsessively in the backseat of the car. Just so worried about this and worried about that, and you could just go back to that moment. That's where I went back to that moment, and I'm just like, wow, poor guy. But you know what? That's all he got. Because I'm not gonna do autopsy. I'm gonna put it together. Broken it all. Each moment, even if your joy is knowing that the rain is gonna still come. Even if you just see a crack of sunshine. Sometimes it's just the fact that your car started up. Even if it's brand new, you're like, whoa. Don't miss over it. So, yeah, I've been really busy working on this course at speakuniversity.org. Oh my God. We're changing lives. We're changing lives. We're helping other people get out and break out of their fears. I'm really proud of this work. And I would love for you to check it out. If you got a fear that you're breaking loose, especially if it's fear of speaking, fear of stepping out, fear of doing the right thing, I would love to invite you to experience what I believe is my greatest work. I believe it to date. It is my greatest work. And that's because I have the opportunity to serve you. So ask yourself if there are any biopsies that you need to perform before it gets too late. And I will talk to you tomorrow.